Just gonna grab whatever I can.
We wanted to find the tunnels where the horses galloped into the hippodrome or passageways that led to the royal box.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a leak.
Could be.
See, we're gonna get stranded somewhere in the hippodrome, and they'll find us 1,000 years later.
Okay.
All right, go now. What do you think? Now, going on my knees, I'm guessing?
Yes. Yes. To the knees, this is the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, can I have a paddle?
Here's the paddle for you. It's pretty amazing. We're underground Istanbul, but in a boat. And we're paddling through the hippodrome. And clearly you're getting runoff from pollution from the streets. It smells like feces. I mean, I don't know what's down here, but it's not very pleasant. But this used to be the center of the city. I mean, you hate to say it, but this very well could have been a toilet for the hippodrome, right? This could be ancient shit that's floating in this water. Seems like about every, 20 or 30 feet, we find a new chamber. There could have been supplies here, storage for chariots. I mean, it's big enough to be a stable. There could have very well been horses in here. This could have been where the athletes prepared or the circus entertainment. Looks like there's some debris over here. I can't even make this out over in the corner.
It's concrete, not...
That is concrete there.
We had hit another layer of history. The wall was clearly not Roman or Byzantine. Hassan explained that the Ottomans turned the sphendum into a cistern for water storage. The walls were covered in concrete, and, based on the water everywhere, the cistern was still doing its job.
So this isn't our way, but we've got to see what's behind it. Yes, we've got to keep going, right?
Yes, let's climb.
All right, let us climb. Okay. All right, let's do it. All right, we're getting our first look. I'm going to tell you what I see here. This is exactly a flat face. It's a smooth face. We're dammed off right here, and it's a smooth face, and we don't have the equipment to get down. You can see more water down there in this tunnel, and maybe this tunnel right here would lead directly into the hippodrome. And I'm sorry to say I'm not going to be able to see it. So this is the end of the road for us. But Rome wasn't built in a day, and we're not going to discover everything about Istanbul and its underworld in one day either. And Hassan, you're going to be the one who gets to find out what's over there, huh?
Yes, I think that we will come with more people and some more equipment, that we have a look. What's there?
Today we know this city as Istanbul, but almost 1,700 years ago this was Constantinople, the very spot that Emperor Constantine handpicked to be the new capital of the Roman Empire. Constantine wanted his capital to be bigger and better than Rome. He started by building a palace that would become the envy of the world. So where is this grand palace now?
The palatial complex Constantine built when he relocated his capital, called the Great Palace, was enormous. The compound began at the Sea of Marmara and continued all the way to the Hippodrome. It was like a small private city for the emperor and his royal court. The grounds held state buildings, throne rooms, churches, libraries, thermal baths, fountains, and ornate courtyards. The bronze gates, roaring mechanical lions, and mosaic tile pavements made it one of the wonders of the ancient world. But towards the end of the Byzantine Empire, the royal family left this grandeur for a smaller palace further inland. No one's exactly sure why, but this decision was the start of the decline of the Great Palace. When the Fourth Crusade sacked the city in 1204, the Crusaders are said to have lived in the remains of the palace they helped to destroy. The Ottomans conquered in 1453 and began to rebuild the area to suit their needs, recycling materials left behind. Soon the walls of the palace became walls of Ottoman homes. Byzantine stones helped build new mosques. After 470 years of Ottoman rule, the Great Palace slowly disappeared beneath the ground. Until 1912, when a fire raged through Sultanahmet Square, destroying hundreds of homes. As the debris was cleared away, Constantine's Great Palace rose from the ashes. The fire helped unearth a 4th century palace courtyard and one of the best ancient mosaics in the world, commissioned by Emperor Justinian 200 years after Constantine first built the imperial palace.
So essentially this grand mosaic is a sidewalk for emperors. They would have strolled onto the hippodrome perhaps, or another part of their palace, and you can see how gorgeous this is, how grand the palace must have been. It's not hard to imagine that Emperor Justinian himself followed the same path that I am, of course, on the mosaic.
The mosaics were part of a royal peristyle, or enclosed courtyard lined with columns. The courtyard was part of the massive complex of the Great Palace. 2,690 square feet remain, about an eighth of the entire size of the courtyard. But 1,500 years ago, the mosaics would have covered approximately 20,000 square feet. Archaeologist Feridun Özgürmüş knows the area well.
Hello, sir. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for your time.
He grew up in the old city and was playing in the substructures of the Great Palace before he or anyone knew what they were.
This brick right here, right? If I remove this brick and keep digging, what am I going to find?
The ruins of, in my opinion, ruins of the Great Palace.
The ruins of the Great Palace right underneath it.
Because at the moment we're walking within the periphery of the Great Palace of ancient Constantinople.
He knows a part of the Great Palace that has never been properly excavated. Asia Minor Carpet Shop looks like all the other carpet shops on the street, but beneath its courtyard, an entrance was discovered. One wheelbarrow at a time, they emptied the hole and exposed 5 vaulted chambers, believed to be part of the substructure of Constantine's lost Great Palace.
This is very impressive.
There are a lot of substructures like that in Istanbul.
This is the substructure of the Great Palace. The throne room where Constantine greeted his guests was believed to have once been just above. The Byzantines are rumored to have kept wild animals here. Crusaders may have walked through the